That off. 4 runners over 2 miles in the Sean P. Muldoon and Patrick F. Gormley Fortria Chase. Grade 2 race, and straight at the front, the mare Riviere de Tel. Leading Captain Guinness, Andy Dufresne, Castle Grace Paddy dropped in last of the 4 as they link up with fence 1. Riviere de Tel off to her right, followed by Captain Guinness, Andy Dufresne, and Castle Grace Paddy. Coming towards the second fence, and Captain Guinness has moved on to go a few lengths clear of Riviere de Tel, Andy Dufresne and Castle Grace Paddy as they come up the hill. Good run to fence number 3. And the leader is Captain Guinness and Racheal Blackmore from Riviere de Tel, with eyes to the sky in these early stages. Is the mount of Jack Kennedy. And third is Andy Dufresne, Mark Walsh, with the back marker Castle Grace Paddy and Brian Cooper. Away they go to fence number 3, the ditch. And it's Captain Guinness in front of Riviere de Tel, Andy Dufresne, following his stable companion with the back marker Castle Grace Paddy. 1 mile and 2 to go as they turn to head into the back straight, where they will jump 4 fences. Captain Guinness in the lead from Riviere de Tel, after the grey mare Andy Dufresne, with Castle Grace Paddy the back marker. Down the far side they go towards halfway. Captain Guinness leads Riviere de Tel by a couple of lengths. Break of 4 to Andy Dufresne, with the back marker continuing to be Castle Grace Paddy. On to the next. Fence number 5. Captain Guinness up and over from Riviere de Tel, Andy Dufresne and Castle Grace Paddy as they've passed halfway. Second last fence in the back straight coming up. Captain Guinness, who took it up after the second fence, leads Riviere de Tel, Andy Dufresne and Castle Grace Paddy. Down they go to the final fence in the back straight. Captain Guinness, Racheal Blackmore, followed by Riviere de Tel, Jack Kennedy, Andy Dufresne, Mark Walsh third, and Castle Grace Paddy fourth of the 4, Brian Cooper. Into the last fence in the back straight. Captain Guinness heads towards the end of the back straight, followed by Andy Dufresne, who joins Riviere de Tel for the second spot, and then Castle Grace Paddy. On to the 4th last fence, and the second and final ditch, in the Sean P. Muldoon and Patrick F. Gormley Fortria Grade 2 Chase. Captain Guinness, Riviere de Tel has won back to second from Andy Dufresne. Riviere de Tel, far from fluent there, rejoined for the second by Andy Dufresne as they track in Captain Guinness. And although Castle Grace Paddy is the back marker, the quartet has tightened up considerably, returning for the final 3 fences in the straight. Captain Guinness, Riviere de Tel, followed by Andy Dufresne and Castle Grace Paddy. Coming towards the 3rd last fence. And it's all to play for. Captain Guinness, Riviere de Tel, pushed up on the outside, then Andy Dufresne and Castle Grace Paddy. Down they come past their point of departure. 2 fences left to jump, and it is Captain Guinness from Riviere de Tel. Andy Dufresne has changed course to the outside, then Castle Grace Paddy at the second last, and it's Captain Guinness, the leader from Riviere de Tel, who made a very bad mistake, almost tipped up, and hands an additional few lengths to Captain Guinness. Andy Dufresne's moved off in pursuit, then Riviere de Tel and Castle Grace Paddy to the final fence in the Fortria. It's Captain Guinness up and over from Riviere de Tel and Andy Dufresne, both trying hard, then Castle Grace Paddy, but it's Captain Guinness on his seasonal reappearance will land the Fortria. Second, Riviere de Tel. In third, Andy Dufresne, well clear of Castle Grace Paddy. Another result for Racheal Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead.
Well, we heard from Henry de Bromhead earlier on in the afternoon. He kindly rejoins us now. Henry, much to talk about in the intervening period. Let's start, of course, with Captain Guinness, who produced a really fluent performance there. How much of a buzz did that give you?
Yeah, brilliant to see him jumping like that. I just thought last year he wasn't jumping as well, and we've worked hard on him there this season, and it's really helped him, and I thought he jumped brilliant. So delighted with that, and yeah, look, he's given weight to some good horses there, and he did it nicely. So, yeah, and brilliant for Declan and Josephine Landy as well, yeah.
You looked a picture too, and Don McLean, who's with me today, made the point. He seems to have been around a long time, this horse, but he's only 7 years of age. Do you think the best maybe still is to come from him?
Yeah, I thought he was older than 7, but yeah.
Maybe I got that wrong, have I? He is. Yeah.
Is he?
I've double checked.
Wow, fair. Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. Yeah, look, he won a maiden hurdle here as a 4-year-old, and and then he went novice chasing the following year. So yeah, and he's a big horse, so he could be improving all the time, and in fairness, Declan's been really patient with him, and he only runs 4 or 5 times every year. So yeah, he's great. We're very lucky to have him. He's rock solid.
Anything in mind for the next step for him?
Well, he ran really well in the Tingle Creek. I think we should definitely give him an entry in that, but we'll see. It's up to Declan what he'd like to do as well. But he did run really well there. He's only beaten 2 or 3 lengths. So I think that could be interesting. I definitely feel he's always a bit better. He's at his best on nicer ground, yeah. No. It was great to see him jump as well as he did.
What about Bob Ollinger, Henry? For, I'd say, 7/8 of that Lismullen hurdle, you must have thought, aye, this fella is back and he's going to absolutely hammer these. Then in the end he gets beaten by an outsider and home by the lead. Are you left scratching your head a little bit?
Yeah, I am, definitely. Yeah, it's funny, I suppose, and it's no disrespect to the winner. He beat us fair and square. He was really good. He looked like he was going to pull up with a circuit to go. Sadly, he didn't. I suppose if he wasn't there, we'd all be doing wicked coming out with all our, so we'd be doing backflips if he wasn't there, when you see Flooring Porter and Sanahir and whatever else. But look, ultimately I was disappointed after the race, but it's his first run back over hurdles. I think there's plenty of positives, and we just have to keep building on our season and see, and probably digest it all a bit more as well. It's been, things are coming thick and fast today, so we'll digest it all and see. But he hurdled well, he travelled amazing, and he just got out battled there after the last, I think, yeah.
He looked really well. He was carrying a bit of condition. Have you left a bit to work on him? Where are we likely to see
Always that? Would, definitely. A few of ours probably, would have done an extra piece of work. He's better carrying that bit, I think, so you take the hit on the first run.
He'll come in a little bit here, yeah.
You take the hit on the first run with him and see. But yeah, look, it was a very good race, in fairness. They went a good gallop, very good horse. So look, we'll have to we'll see. So there's he'll either run in the 2 or the 3 mile hurdle at Leopardstown at Christmas. I'd imagine leaning towards the 3 mile at the moment.
Do you feel maybe the intermediate distance suits him best? Is it a case that you'll have to run him in one of those two, either shorter or further?
No, I don't know. I think he's... I can wax lyrical on him of what I see, but then, after today, I'm not sure. I think we need to go and see about 3 miles. I think he could stay that, and I think he'd have the pace for 2 miles, yeah.
Do you ever envisage him going chasing again, Henry, or is that totally out of your mind now?
I'd never say never, but I was really happy with how he hurdled. I thought he really enjoyed himself, and I think we need to certainly stick hurdling for the moment.
Fair play. Obviously, big races keep on coming. At Plutar next week, Honeysuckle not too far away from making the returns as well. Are you kind of anxious, excited, a mixture of both maybe about those two?
Yeah, really excited. We're so lucky to have them, and we've got to enjoy them. Really excited, really looking forward to Plutar. He seems in great form. He looked great this morning. I was loose schooling him. He jumped brilliant. He looked amazing. So very happy with him. And Honey the same. She was brilliant. She looks really well. And it's just to try and get them there now into their respective races. Yeah, so they seem really well.
And Henry, Robbie Power has been racing with you a bit of late. He seems to fit it in seamlessly down below Knockeen. You enjoying having him around?
Yeah, really enjoying it. He's a great man. His experience is, he's so much experience, and he's just a great guy to have around. And he's a big asset to our setup. So yeah, we're delighted to have him. He probably brings me out of my misery every now and again as well after a bad run. So yeah, no, he's good. He's as I say, he has so much experience. Yeah.
Good man. It was great to see you here today and smiling as well. Well done with the winners, Henry, and best of luck going forward.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary.